Welcome back, everybody. This is Odysseus, and you are watching the Arkham Horror Campaign video series, game number 2, about to start turn number 10. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get right to it with our upkeep phase. First things first, of course, we're going to move our first player marker from Sister Mary to Charlie. He'll be our first player this turn. And now we're going to do the upkeep for our heroes. Sister Mary has a focus of 1, and she's going to move her speed up to 3 for her 1 stat adjustment, and we're going to adjust our skills, our relationships there. And the only other thing she needs to do is, beginning the turn in the streets, she will get to roll for her Sheldon gang, maybe some larceny right here. Let's see what she gets. A 4, which is $2. Alright, that's her 4. So she will gain $2. She seems to be quite good at committing larceny. So, didn't get any items this time, which is sort of what I figured was going to happen. She's been too lucky with a few previous turns. And that's all she's going to need to do for her upkeep. Charlie Kane is got his move set at 3. Don't really need that much move, so we're gonna go. I'll keep his move at 3. We're gonna adjust his will up and his luck up. That's his 2 on his focus. Doesn't have anything else to do right now, so that's good for him. Diana Stanley, who got a injury last turn, really would, she's going to reset her rifle, really would like to hop into a gate. Problem is we don't have an easy gate to get to. Yeah, we're going to check out here. I'm going to take her 1 focus and up her will, I think. You know what? No, I'm not. Yeah, I have to have a minimum move of 2, so she can't increase her sneak. So we up her will. We're going to take a quick peek here at this elder thing. It's a will check, -3. Yeah, combat. 1, 2, 7 dice to get 2 hits. That's really going to be our only choice, I think. I think we're going to have to try to do a combat there. So, alright, she is going to prep for that. That's where she's going to try to jump into that gate to the abyss. That's her only choice if we're going to have, because we're just running out of time. We're going to have to take some risks there. Alright, so that will be Diana Stanley's turn. For Rita Young, we're going to reset our relationship. And I don't think she needs to make any other adjustments. Yeah, I think we're going to be good with what we got. Everything else there. We don't have a retainer anymore. So, that's going to wrap up the upkeep phase for turn number 10. Alright, we're back for the movement phase in turn number 10. And Charlie Kane is our first player. He's up in Kingsport. So he is actually going to stay where he is, because there is a rift token on the rift track that matches his current location. So he's going to hang out there. He'll just have an encounter there to deal with that. That puts us over to Diana Stanley, who's got one of the more interesting moves this turn. So she is going to move with our speed of 2. She's going to go 1, 2. And she is going to have to battle this elder thing, who has a will check, or a horror check, -3. Our will is a 4. And that is no way to modify, so that would give her 1 dice. Probably going to fail this, but let us see. And we do, but we can take a 2 sanity hit once, And that's what we're going to lose for failing that horror check, taking on that nasty elder thing. So, here comes the hard part. A fight of 1. We're going to turn on her rifle, give us 5, plus 1 more for the knife is makes 6, plus 1, 7 dice with no other modifiers. Nope, that's going to do it. 7 dice. We got to get 2 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 dice. We're going to have to get a little lucky here. We were not lucky last turn. So, here we go. And we did. We got a 5 and a 6 right there. Ah, yay. Awesome. So we're going to claim our trophy. And that will help her out a lot. Actually helps out the whole game, getting rid of a monster. So that will end her movement phase, and we're going to move to Rita Young, who is in the Unknown Kadath. She would simply move 1 space. That was easy. And then Sister Mary, she is going to go with her speed of 3. She's not going to need all 3 this turn. 1, 2. And pick up a stray clue. That actually gives her 3 clues. And now she's actually prepping for a trip to another world in the next couple of turns. Alright, that is going to wrap up the movement phase for turn number 10. Okay, we're back for the encounter phase in turn number 10, and we will begin with Charlie Kane first. He is going to take a token off of the Rift track for having an encounter in Kingsport. Go ahead and drop that back in the cup. And then we're going to actually see what happens to him up in Kingsport. So, we're at 7th house on the left. So here we go. Gladys Pickman, noticing your interest, offers to sell you some of the old papers she found in her house. Pay $2 to gain 1 spell and 2 clue tokens. Wow, that's pretty good. Alright, since Charlie does have money, one thing he's not really short of, he's going to pay his $2. There's $2, and he will gain two clues. There's 2 clues. It's pretty helpful. It actually gives him 3 clues. Interesting. And then he also gains a spell. Let's see what spell he gets. He gets Foresee. Huh. That lets you cast and exhaust or reroll any 1 skill check. Not too shabby. Sanity cost 1. Casting modifier 1. Alright, he's not much of a spellcaster, but he is ending up with a couple of spells there. Alright. That wraps up Charlie's encounter. Now, the only other Arkham encounter is going to be Sister Mary at the Silver Twilight Lodge. Let us see what happens to her there. Care to join the order? Asked Carl Sanford and several of his henchmen. If you accept, pay $3. Take a Silver Twilight membership. If you decline, make a will check -1. Or lose 3 stamina as they show you to the door violently, of course. Whether you pass or not, move into the streets. Okay, let's go ahead and move us into the streets to remember to do that. I do not have $3, so I cannot take the membership. So I'm going to have to make that will check -1. I have a current will of 3 with no other modifiers. That means I'm going to be rolling 2 dice. And let's see what happens here. And we fail. We're going to lose 3 stamina, which will, of course, put us in the hospital. And that's too much time spent. So we are going to call upon the white feather that Diana Stanley picked up. You may discard it to prevent any investigator from losing up to 3 sanity or 3 stamina. That's what we're going to do right now. We're going to spin this. Keep Sister Mary from going to the hospital. Alright. And that will take care of Sister Mary's encounter. And then we're going to do our other world encounters. We'll start with Diana Stanley. Oh, well, I should back up, because Diana Stanley did, during the Arkham phase, move to the Abyss. Alright. That will actually put her in the Abyss, so she can have her otherworld encounter. Here comes the draw. We will see the Dreamlands, Lost Coast on the other. Pass a luck check -1 to find something of use amongst the devastation. Draw 1 common item. So luck -1. Her current luck is a 2. And she's not going to use her relationship with Rita Young, because that would allow her to get a +1 on this, but I don't think it's that important. So we're just going to make our 1 dice check. But there's no penalty for failing this, so we'll save it for Rita just in case. And she rolls a success anyway, so she gets a common item. Very good. Maybe it'll be a weapon or something that will help us out. Oh yes, a Sadanet with a small car. And that will automatically allow her to evade monsters of toughness of 1 while in the streets. That's actually a really cool item. I do like to have that. Alright. She finds a car over in the other world. She's going to be driving it back home, I suppose. Then we move to Rita Young, who is currently at the Unknown Kadath, her second time here. Let's see what she gets. She will Roy, Fato Ling, and other. A crazed, half-dead explorer attacks you. Pass a fight check +2 to overcome him. If you succeed, take 1 common item and lose 1 sanity as you contemplate this poor soul's fate. If you fail, lose 1 stamina. Alright, well, a fight check +2 shouldn't be a problem. A fight check +2 will give me 7 dice. This is a poor little old man who's crazy, running around in the other world. Don't know what he's thinking. There's 7 dice. And statistically, it shouldn't be a problem. And we get plenty of successes there. 2 successes. So, we will take a common item from him. Here we go. And we get, let me verify that it was a common item. As you take a common item and lose 1 sanity. Alright. There's the sanity. And we get a magnifying glass. Huh. Exhaust to gain +2 to lore checks when reading tomes. And exhaust and discard after you gain a clue to gain an additional clue. Alright, that's pretty good. Gaining extra clues is never a bad thing. Alright, and that is going to wrap up our encounter phase here in turn number 10. Okay, we're back here for the Mythos phase of turn number 10. We're hanging in there. It's been sort of rough, but we are hanging in there, so let us see what the Mythos phase has for us here in turn 10. Strange Whispers promise vengeance. A headline, so it does not affect our King in Yellow advancement. A gate will appear at the Science Building. Alright, let's go ahead and get that resolved. First of all, a gate will appear. That's the bad part. Puts us at 10 on the Doom track. Here is the gate draw, and it will be a gate to a Yagath. Okay, one of the harder ones. Not the hardest, but one of the hard ones. And we'll drop that into our gate holder. And the gate appears. We lose a clue at the Science Building. But a new clue appears at Silver Twilight Lodge. Ah, too bad. Sister Mary was just there and just barely missed that. Now, monster movement. Hex on white. We're going to do the Rift track first. And we will see. Wow. This is. No, it's not. This is. Oh, yes. That is the 607 Water Street. And the hex on white is right there. Okay. Definitely going to have to go there and take care of that. That's almost enough to break a rift. We'll be able to deal with that next turn, though. Alright, now we actually move the monsters. Hexes, slashes, triangles, stars. We have 4 monsters. We have circle and circle, square and crescent. Okay, wow. And our monster limit is, well, we don't have any monsters that are going to move. Alright. And now we see what the actual event is. A monster appears at a street location chosen by the first player. Well, that's interesting. Who's our best fighting character? Alright, she can come back there. The first thought, of course, is put it up in Kingsport, but Charlie is not really configured for fighting monsters. So, next thought would be actually in Innsmouth, but that could affect the Innsmouth board. With putting tokens on the Innsmouth track, Deep One Rising track. So that puts us back into Arkham. Where to put a monster? I tell you, sort of far away from the gates, I think. So we're going to actually put it in the downtown streets. Okay, now that we've chosen our location, let us draw and see which monster we get. There we go, and we get a deep one. Alright. Not a horrible monster, not too bad to fight. Has some horror check, but let me see if I can get him into his stand here. There we go. Alright, we're going to put him in the downtown streets right there. Alright. It's far enough away from our gates that I probably won't have to deal with him for a couple of turns at least. Okay, not horrible. We did add a Doom token to the Doom track, which is never going to be helpful. And I'm going to go back over here to our rumor. See that we're currently at 16. This is going to put us up to 20. I think we're just going to end up failing this rumor. I guess gotta hope everybody is going to have their stats where they want. When our focus goes to 0, that's going to be really tough. Okay, alright. Well, the only other thing left to do is advance the rumor. And 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Alright, this puts us back up to 20. I'm just going to put these down right here. Alright, that is absolutely horrible. But we really don't have many other options if we're going to try to seal up these gates. We're going to have to just do it the hard way without being able to adjust our stats. Alright, that is going to wrap up the Mythos phase, turn number 10. Welcome back, everybody. This is Odysseus, and you are watching the Arkham Horror Campaign video series, game number 2. We're about to start our turn number 11, and I have been studying the board, trying to formulate a plan because it really feels like we're just about to lose this one. So I think I'm going to take a little bit more risk, and I think I've formulated a plan that's going to hopefully get us to the end. So, we're going to begin the upkeep phase with moving the first player marker from Charlie Kane over to Diana Stanley. Okay, now we're going to do some upkeep. Now we're going to have to get as many people as possible into gates for seals. So, Sister Mary is going to push her lore up 1. And mostly this is in preparation for us failing the rumor. The rumor is going to fail this turn. We don't have any way we can really even slow it down effectively. We are going to get a roll for the streets with our Sheldon Gang membership. She is in the streets right now, so let's go ahead and get that roll out of the way. We're going to get a roll here, and let's see. We got a 4. And a 4 is $2. So she's rolling in a little bit more money. Alright. For a couple more dollars. Not as good as getting an item, but you might be able to use that money eventually. Alright. And that's going to be all Sister Mary needs to do. Now Charlie Kane is up in Kingsport, and this is the really big shift in the strategy here. I think we're going to just abandon the Kingsport board entirely. We're going to have to hope that the Rift Track doesn't betray us,
That's the risk we're going to take, but we got to get people back down here where the gates are. And he's got 3 clues and has a plan for getting a couple more here. So, we are going to use his focus of 2 to bump his fight all the way up to 5. Again, preparing for the rumor failing, because when that rumor fails, all of our focuses drop to 0, and we will not be able to change our stats for the rest of the game. So we got to get our stats where we need them this turn. His movement is maxed out, which is where I sort of want it. And I think that that's going to do it for Charlie Kane. Now, Diana Stanley just stepped into the abyss last turn. She's going to use her focus of 1 to get her lore up to a 6. We're going to refresh our gun. And I think that that's going to do it for Diana Stanley. Okay, that puts us to Rita Young, no longer with a retainer, but with a whole bunch of money. Her fight is at 5, which is what we want. She is going to be returning from the unknown Kadath this turn. And hopefully, well, actually, she will be getting a seal because she's got an elder sign. There's no rolls needed. So that's going to be all she's going to need to do there, I think. Nothing else to happen. All right, so we're going to wrap up the upkeep phase in turn number 11. Alright, we're back for the movement phase in turn number 11. First move is going to be Diana Stanley. She has a really easy move. She's just moving to the second space of the abyss. Next will be Rita Young, who has likewise easy move. She's returning from the unknown Kadath, and she is going to appear over here at the unnameable for her sealing that will be happening shortly. Sister Mary is going to go collect some clues. She's got 3 right now, and she's going to have a speed of 3. 1, 2, 3 at the unvisited isle, where she's going to pick up 2 more clues, and that will give her her 5 that she needs. Alright, so she's now prepped for a gate jump. Okay, that leaves Charlie Kane, and here's where the big difference is going to be. He has 4 movement points to spend, a total speed of 4, 3 with the stats and 1 from his skill. So he's going to go 1, hop on the train, 2, 3, and 4. Moving as far as he can, and that's going to cost him $1. So he's going to have to get rid of some money, get some change back from the bank to pay for his train ticket, down to 4 money. There's $4. Alright. There we go. We're just going to put that there for a second. I'll tidy it up in a minute. And that is going to wrap up the movement phase for turn number 11. Okay, we're back for the encounter phase in turn number 11. And we will start with Diana Stanley. Oh, well, she's in another world right now, so she'll have her encounter last. That puts us to Rita Young, and she is going to attempt to close and seal the gate to the unknown Kadath. So, we are going to... It's automatic with the Elder Sign. There's no rolls needed, so we're going to go ahead and claim the trophy. Put our gate stand back here. Claim a gate trophy, which has got a slash on it. That does affect 1 creature, I think. No, we already got rid of that creature, so already battled it. And we have to discard, or not discard, but remove from the game our Elder Sign. And with the Elder Sign, lets us remove a Doom token from the Doom track. So that helps a lot. We'll gather our seal marker here and get our 3rd seal onto the board. There we go. Some progress finally being made. Now, Sister Mary is at the unvisited isle. Let's see what kind of encounter she has there. Here we go. Falling asleep beneath one of the ancient willows on the island, you dream of another life, one in which you called down strange entities and sacrificed in their name. When you awaken, you have retained some of the memories from that other life. Gain 1 clue token and 1 spell. Very nice. Clue token, never bad. At this stage in the game, we're trying to get all the clues we can. So, we're going to gather that clue token together. And a spell. Who knows? Maybe this will be Find Gate. That will be perfect. Nope. It's Open the Third Eye. Again, much more useful if we have it earlier in the game. Yeah, well, we'll hold on to it. And doesn't hurt. Doesn't necessarily help, though. Alright, that puts us with Charlie Kane, who has In the Streets with no encounter. So the last encounter of this phase will be Diana Stanley, who is in the Abyss. And let's see what she draws for her encounter. Let's see, I got, other. A tree covered in blood and waving in the wind stands before you. If you pass a luck check -1, it is just a tree. If you fail, it attacks you. Lose 1 sanity and 2 stamina. Okay, that would be really bad for us. Alright, so, a luck check -1. Let's go ahead and see what our luck is. Our luck is a 3. And we don't have anything to modify that, so we'll be rolling 2 dice. And let's see if we're lucky. And we roll a double 1, which of course is not lucky. Oh my goodness, this is horrible. Oh, wait. This is Diana Stanley. I looked up Sister Mary's luck. That's my mistake. Diana Stanley's luck is only a 1. However, she can use The World Ain't Big Enough for Us to get a +1. That will give her only 1 dice, however. So I will re-roll that. That is my mistake. I looked at the wrong character. So we're going to pick up a dice here and roll 1. And we roll, a little bit of luck. We roll the 6. Alright, well, that was fortuitous. So, it is just a tree. That, we wouldn't have actually gone to Lost in Space and Time if we'd lost that. I was thinking of Sister Mary in this case. These two characters look a lot alike. I get them confused. Alright, that is going to wrap up the encounter phase for turn number 11. Alright, here we are for the Mythos phase in turn number 11. Not a bad turn so far. We did get our 3rd seal onto the board. We have one other character about to return with another seal next turn. And Sister Mary is prepped for also another seal. Alright, so we're staging for a last minute surge. We're going to see what happens here. See if the Mythos phase is generous. And we draw Black Sabbath, a headline, so it does not affect our King in Yellow. Gate burst at the woods. Well, we don't have any seals there, but there's already a gate. That means we have a monster surge. Alright, a monster surge is going to be a little bit of a problem. We only have 1 on our monster limit, so we will be having an increase in our terror level this turn, I believe. Alright, that means we're going to have to be drawing 4 monsters from the cup. So I'm shaking up the monster cup here, and let us see what we draw. 1 monster is going to appear on the board at the woods. We're going to draw 1 from the bottom here. Here's the monster that will appear. It is an elder thing. I think we just beat up one of those earlier. And now that means 3 monsters heading to the outskirts. The outskirts is currently full, so what's going to happen is all of these guys are going to clear, and the 3 monsters I draw are going to go into the outskirts. Alright, our terror level will increase. There's 1, 2, 3. There's our 3 monsters. It looks like a Hounded Hindalos, a Deep One hybrid, and another elder thing. So, we're going to put these guys down here. Alright. Oh, I should have checked that. I forgot to check the monsters that were in the outskirts when we sealed that gate, but there were no slashes, so nothing appeared there. Alright, the monsters that were in the outskirts drop back in the cup, and terror level increases by 1 because the outskirts overflowing. Alright, that was our monster surge. Oh, the 1 monster that appeared, there we go, the elder thing. Let's get him in the base and drop him down at the woods. Here we go. At the woods. A little bit of a problem perhaps for Diana Stanley, but we'll deal with that after she seals the gate. Okay, new clues. Pure Historical Society and the newspaper. Well, okay, that's pretty good. Let us get some more clues here. There's 2 clues. Alright. One at the Historical Society and one at the newspaper. Alright. That's pretty good. Now for the monster movement track. Crescent on white. Let's do the Rift token first. Here we go. Rift token. And we draw Neil's Curiosity Shop. Crescent on white is right here. So, I didn't get a rift this turn. Now we're actually going to move the monsters. Crescents and pluses are going to move. And we only have 1 plus and no crescents. The only plus that's moving is going to move on black. That'll be the deep one here. We'll move back to the north side. Alright. And then we're going to resolve the event. All rat things, witches, and warlocks in Arkham are returned to the cup. If at least 1 monster returned to the cup, raise the terror level by 1. Well, we do have a witch. That's actually going to end up being fortuitous for us, I think. So we're going to return this witch to the cup, and that will give us 1 available on our monster limit, should we need that. But most importantly, it only leaves 1 monster here guarding that gate to the Hall of Solano. And that may be the break we're going to need. Alright, well, that resolves the Mythos card. Nothing left on that. The last thing to do is going to be to activate the Rumor. And the Rumor is going to fail at this point. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pick this up carefully and try to dump all these back into the cup that I have for my clues. There we go. Ding. Alright. Now, what happens? If there are 6 tokens per player on this card, well, there were 24, return it to the box, and investigators may no longer trade items, and all investigators have their focus reduced to 0 for the rest of the game. That's the harsh part. No trading, we can probably live around that, but it's that focus of 0 for the rest of the game. Cannot change our stats. Okay, we didn't add a Doom token to the Doom track. That's wonderful news. Next turn we get another seal for seal number 4. And right behind that, hopefully we're going to be on a seal number 5. We're positioning for a last minute surge. Maybe we'll actually pull out this game. That should wrap it up for turn number 11.